What if I told you that you have been carrying the most powerful meditation tool in the world your entire life, and you never once used it? Not because it was hard to find, not because it was expensive, not because it required years of practice or a guru on a mountaintop, but simply because no one ever told you to look. You breathe around 20,000 times every single day. 20,000. And yet, not once, not a single time, do you actually feel it. You are alive because of breath. You will die the moment it stops. And somehow, in all those years of living, breathing has been happening right under your nose, quite literally, while you remained completely absent from it. That is the mystery we are going to unravel today. Let's be honest for a moment. You have tried things. Maybe you downloaded a meditation app and quit after 3 days. Maybe you sat cross-legged on a yoga mat, trying to empty your mind, and ended up thinking about what to eat for dinner. Maybe someone told you to just relax and you wanted to scream at them. Maybe you have read books, watched videos, followed routines, and still, deep inside, there's this restlessness, this low hum of anxiety that never fully disappears, this feeling of being slightly disconnected from your own life, as if you are watching it happen from a small distance. You are not broken. You are not weak. And you're most certainly not alone. Millions of people wake up every morning already exhausted, already overwhelmed, already behind. The mind is a storm before the day even begins. Thoughts about yesterday, fears about tomorrow, guilt, plans, arguments replayed in the head at 3 in the morning. We live in an age where everything moves fast and everything demands attention. The phone buzzes, the world shouts, and somewhere in all of that noise, you, the real you, got lost. And here is the painful part. We have been taught 1,000 ways to cope. Work harder, think positive, buy something, achieve something, prove something. Society handed us ambition like a gift and never told us it came with a price. We were given goals, but never given silence. We were taught how to speak, but never how to listen, not even to ourselves. So you search, and the searching itself becomes exhausting. Now imagine a man sitting in Pune, India, in the late 1970s. Thousands of people have come from all over the world, from America, from Europe, from Japan, looking for something they cannot name. They are educated people, successful people, people who have everything and still feel empty. And this man looks at them with quiet eyes and says something that stops everyone cold. He says, "The door you are looking for is already open. You have just been walking past it every single day." That man was Osho. And what he pointed to again and again in hundreds of different ways was something so ordinary, so ever-present, so embarrassingly simple that the mind refuses to believe it could be the answer. The breath. Not the breath as a technique. Not the breath as an exercise. The breath as a doorway into the present moment. The breath as the one thing in your life that is always happening, always here, always faithful, whether you notice it or not. Osho spoke about something he called witnessing. The simple act of watching. Not controlling, not changing, not fixing, just watching. And he said, if you can watch your breath, even for a few minutes, you will touch something in yourself that no amount of thinking can ever reach. Because here is what the mind does. The mind lives in time. It travels to the past to collect its pain, and it travels to the future to rehearse its fears. It is almost never here, in this moment, in this body, in this breath. And when the mind is not here, you are not here. You are a ghost wandering through your own life. But the breath is always here, only here. It cannot exist in yesterday. It cannot exist in tomorrow. The breath is the original present moment experience. And the moment you become aware of it, truly, genuinely aware, something shifts. Let me tell you about something that happened in one of Osho's gatherings. A man stood up, visibly frustrated. He said he had been meditating for years. He had tried every method. He had sat for hours. He had chanted mantras. He had gone on retreats. And still, nothing. Still the same noise. Still the same emptiness. Osho listened. And then he asked one question. Just one. He said, "While you were doing all of this, were you breathing?" The man was confused. Of course he was breathing. Everyone is always breathing. And Osho smiled. He said, "Were you aware of it?" Silence. That silence in the room was the teaching. Because the man had been so focused on achieving meditation, on getting somewhere, on reaching some special state, that he had completely missed the simplest truth. Meditation is not a destination. It is not a state you arrive at after enough effort. It is a quality of awareness. And that quality is available right now in this very breath if you are willing to simply notice it. This is the mind shift. This is the moment everything changes. We have been taught to believe that meditation is hard, that it requires discipline and willpower and years of dedicated practice. And that belief itself is the barrier. Because what Osho was pointing to requires no effort at all. It only requires attention. And attention, unlike achievement, is something you already possess. You do not need to become a monk. You do not need to sit in a cave. You do not need to read ancient texts or recite sacred words. You only need to do something you are already doing. You only need to breathe and know that you are breathing. Now here is where I want you to feel something slightly uncomfortable. Because the truth, when it is really the truth, always stings a little first. We have built an entire industry around escaping the present moment. The entertainment industry, the social media industry, even the wellness industry, all of it, in large part, is designed to pull your attention outward, to give your mind something to chase, something to react to, something to scroll through. We have been so thoroughly trained to look outside ourselves that looking inward feels foreign, feels almost wrong, like you're doing something strange or antisocial. Schools teach us history, mathematics, language, science. Not 1 hour is devoted to teaching a child how to simply sit with themselves, how to breathe consciously, how to be present. We graduate knowing the dates of wars and the formulas of chemistry, but we do not know ourselves, not even slightly. And then we wonder why anxiety is at an all-time high, why loneliness has become an epidemic, why people in the most connected era in human history feel completely and utterly alone. Religion told us that God is in the temples, in the rituals, in the right prayers spoken at the right times. But what if the divine, or whatever word you prefer for that sacred, quite something, is in the space between your inhale and your exhale? What if the most profound experience available to a human being is something that happens 20,000 times a day, for free, without permission, without subscription, without ceremony? What if we were sold complexity when the answer was always simple? Come back now. Come back to the breath. Right now, as you watch this, you are breathing, without thinking about it, without trying. Your chest is rising and falling. Air is moving through you. Life is happening inside you. And most of the time, you are not there for any of it. What would it feel like to actually be present for your own life? Try something, just for one moment. Feel the air as it enters. Notice the slight coolness at the tip of the nose. Feel the chest expand. Feel the pause, that tiny, brief, extraordinary pause between the inhale and the exhale. and then feel the release. The letting go, that pause, that space. Osho often spoke of that space as the closest we come, in the middle of ordinary life, to tasting something beyond the mind. Something vast, something quiet, something that has no name but that the heart recognizes instantly. You cannot think your way into that space. You can only breathe your way into it. And this is not metaphor. This is not spiritual poetry dressed up to sound nice. Modern neuroscience now confirms what these ancient teachings always held. Conscious breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system. It quite literally calms the brain. It reduces cortisol. It shifts the body out of fight or flight and into rest and presence. The breath is a biological bridge between the conscious and the unconscious, between the mind that races and the body that simply is. When you breathe consciously, you are not just relaxing, you are returning. There's a beautiful way to think about this. Imagine you have been living in a house for your entire life. Every room is full of furniture, clutter, noise, and distraction. You have never been still long enough to look out the window. And then one day, by accident, almost, you pause. You breathe, and for just a moment, you see the sky. You do not need to throw out the furniture. You do not need to redesign the house. You do not need to become someone new. You only need to stop moving long enough to see what has always been there. That is what conscious breathing does. It does not give you something new. It shows you something ancient. It returns you to yourself. And the more you practice this, not as a rigid discipline, but as a gentle, loving habit, the more you start to notice the gaps, the spaces between thoughts, the quiet that lives underneath all the noise. And you begin to realize something extraordinary. That quiet is who you actually are. The noise was never you. The thoughts were never you. The anxiety, the rushing, the planning, the performing, none of it was the real you. You are the one who watches all of it. And the breath is how you remember. This is why Osho called breathing the simplest path. Not because it is the only path. Not because it will solve every problem in your life overnight. But because it is always available. At 3 in the morning, when the dark thoughts come, you can breathe. In the middle of a difficult conversation, when your heart is racing, you can breathe. In the silent moment before you fall asleep, when the mind wants to start its next campaign, you can breathe. The simplicity is not a limitation. The simplicity is the gift. We have been conditioned to distrust simple things. If it is not complicated, we think it cannot be profound. If it does not cost something, we believe it has no value. But what if the most valuable thing in the universe is something that cannot be bought, cannot be earned, and is already yours? What if the entire spiritual journey, all the searching, all the seeking, all the longing, leads back to this one simple act that you have been doing since the moment you were born? There's a final thing worth sitting with. The ancient teachers across many traditions spoke of the breath as the connection between the mortal and the divine. In Sanskrit, the word for breath and the word for spirit share the same root. In Hebrew, the word for breath and the word for soul are the same word. In Greek, the word for breath is also the word for life itself. This is not coincidence. This is something humanity has always known somewhere deep, that to breathe fully is to be fully alive. And to be fully alive is to be, in that moment, complete. You came into this world with a breath. You will leave it with a breath. And in between, there are 20,000 opportunities every single day to wake up, to come home, to be here. Most people never take even one of them. But you are watching this, which means something in you is ready to begin. Start today. Not with a complicated routine. Not with an app or a timer. Just this. The next time you feel overwhelmed, the next time the noise gets too loud, the next time you feel far from yourself, stop and breathe. Just one breath, fully felt. One conscious inhale. One conscious exhale. That is meditation. That is the path. And it was never anywhere but here. If something in this touched you, if even one breath felt different while you were watching, then you already understand everything. Stay on this journey with us. There is more to discover, and every discovery leads deeper into the one truth that matters most. You are already here. You just have to remember.